Hello all, I'm Sai and in today's video, I'm bringing to you my short review of Why Has Nobody Told Me This Before by Dr. Julie Smith. You can find this author on Instagram as well as YouTube under the handle Dr. Julie. And the main reason why I picked up this book is because I have found the videos of this author practically useful for me, and I just wanted to go forward and read her book because I heard some really good things about it. Now in this book, the author basically talks to us about how we can manage low mood and sadness, which are very basic mental health issues that most of us face on a very daily basis itself. The best thing that I found about this book is that it is very light and its tone. Usually the books that I've read before talking about psychological topics and concepts are a bit technical and use a lot of jargons. But in this book, it is not like that. Most of us who are laymen reading these books can easily understand what the author is saying here because it is very, very lucid. So without any further ado, let's get into the video and I'll tell you what all I liked about this book. First, I want to tell you what this book is not about. Usually, psychology books like this one deal with how you can start healing yourself from your childhood trauma and all the bad things that might have happened to you in your past that have shaped you into the person that you are right now. But this book is not at all like that. Here, the author only talks about various techniques and tools that are taught to people in therapy so that we can practice all those things in a very easy way in our life itself. It is not something that demands a lot of money, but it does require some time and effort from our end in a consistent manner. Now, the basic core of this book, personally, according to me, is the various tools and techniques that the author teaches us here in order to deal with low mood and lack of motivation that we might face on a daily basis, no matter whom we are. Especially if you are someone who is stuck in a very competitive space inside the world, this book will be highly helpful for you because it is very easy to burn yourself out and not take care of your mental health until things get bad when you are in that kind of an environment. And another thing that the author says here, which felt really good for me, is to normalize taking care of your mental wellness as a daily practice, no matter how good or bad you feel. For example, most of us tend to go forward and do some self-care or self-love practices only when we feel bad. It is not wrong to do all these things when you're feeling bad. At the same time, you should not stop doing all these things when you feel good also. The reason behind this is that when you're in a good mood, it will be much easier for you to start and build a habit or practice. And when you switch from that mode into a low mood mode, it will be much easier for you to practice all these things which can help you get back to that good state of mind that you want to be in, because practicing it diligently will have built up a resilience and proper habit pattern for you, which will make it much easier for you to switch into that routine. So you have to normalize taking care of your mental wellness just as much as you care about your physical health, because our overall health depends upon both of these things. In this book, the author also talks about a lot of mental biases that we develop as human beings very naturally. It is not something that is specific to certain kind of people who might be prone to mental illnesses alone. We are all prone to it just because we are human and based on the experiences that we develop in our lives as a whole. And in order to not fall as prey for some of the biases that we see in our lives, it is very important to understand them properly so that each and every time we tend to make a decision based on a bias, we can identify it and check whether we are acting out of just the bias knowledge or the actual circumstances which we are actually dealing with right now. Now, despite the book being about mental health and mental wellness, the author also stresses the importance of physical activity when it comes to taking care of your mental health. For example, just think about this. When you had a fever or a cold and you did not feel physically well for a couple of days, it's not like your mind was booming then, right? When your body feels low, your mind also tends to feel low. That is how both our body and mind are connected, and the problem in one always affects the other in some way. It is a given and we cannot change that. So in order to keep our mental well-being intact, we need to keep ourselves physically active and healthy also. Now, this also does not require that much effort from our end. We can just do some kind of light workout or light movement or exercise to our body, but we have to do it at least for a small amount of time, say 10 or 15 minutes on a daily basis. It must become a habit for us, just like waking up and brushing our teeth first. Once we develop it as a habit, it will be much easier to keep the health of both our mind and body in check and in balance. She also stresses the importance of learning breath work, or to put in simple terms for us Indians, pranayama. We can do a lot of different types of breath work or pranayama depending upon what works well for us. There are so many videos here just on YouTube itself which are very useful, and I have used a lot of breath work and pranayama techniques over the past couple of years, and trust me, it does make a huge change in the physical state of the body, and that change in physical state can be easily used by us in order to bring our mind to the state that we want it to be in. Another important practice that you can do is yoga nidra. I have started doing Yoga Nidra from the beginning of this year and it has definitely helped me a lot. Just go forward and search Yoga Nidra on YouTube. You'll get a lot of videos and try just one or two which works out for you. It is very easy to do, but it will have a great impact on both your physical and mental well-being. Now, the final thing that I want to talk about this book is the way in which the author tells us to increase our vocabulary when it comes to expressing the feelings and emotions that we feel. Okay? It's not like everything that we feel is either good or bad alone. There are so many things between good and bad. At the same time, there are a lot of things that are out of good and bad too. I'll just use a very small example to illustrate this. I very recently crossed 4,000 subscribers and it was a really great thing, okay? I've been doing YouTube videos for nearly 4 years now and crossing that 4,000 subscriber mark just felt really good to me. If we see it on a surface level, it is a good feeling. And if I dig a bit deeper into it, I felt a lot excited because I have crossed such a number. Afterwards, there is also this feeling of satisfaction because it takes a lot out of me in order to make each and every video and put it out here. And above all this, there is also this feeling of longing, which made me feel that it's been nearly 4 years and I've just crossed 4,000 subscribers. So on a surface level, it's a good thing. But if we dig in deep, it brings out a lot of feelings and emotions out of me. And one of the best ways to develop your vocabulary when it comes to expressing your feelings is through reading a lot of stuff and listening to a lot of people who have a good vocabulary. At the same time, journaling each and every day to just get your feelings out there onto paper and get a bird's eye view of what all has happened and what all you felt throughout the day. You can also use the feeling wheel that the author has given as a picture inside the book in order to understand what you're feeling at any particular moment. So yes guys, that was my short review of Why Has Nobody Told Me This Before by Dr. Julie Smith. I'd highly recommend everyone to go forward and get a copy of it and read it because it is basically just a handbook to deal with your emotions on a daily basis, and I hope you will find it useful for you in many ways. And if you did like watching today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also share it to your friends. And if you want to get more content from me, do subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.